After the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, the world around Lot felt completely shattered. He had lost his home, his community, and even his wife, who had looked back during their escape and never made it out of the valley. With only his 2 daughters left, Lot fled to the small town of Zoar, but fear and trauma drove him further away. He eventually took shelter in a remote mountain cave, far from civilization. Days turned into weeks. The silence of the mountains and the emptiness of their situation weighed heavily on Lot's daughters. They had witnessed fire from the sky, cities turning to ashes, and life as they knew it disappearing in a moment. With no news, no neighbors, and no sign of any other people, the daughters began to believe that they and their father were the last survivors on earth. In their desperation and confusion, they thought it was their responsibility to preserve their family line. They remembered the importance of descendants in their culture and believed that failing to continue their father's lineage would mean the end of their family forever. Instead of seeking guidance or waiting for God's direction, they devised a plan based on fear and misunderstanding. On 2 consecutive nights, they gave Lot wine to drink until he was unaware of his surroundings. In his vulnerable state, he had no knowledge of what was happening. Each daughter lay with him on separate nights, believing they were acting for the sake of survival. Their actions were not born from desire, but from a misguided sense of duty and a belief that there was no future beyond the cave. In time, both daughters became pregnant. The older daughter gave birth to a son and named him Moab, who became the ancestor of the Moabites. The younger daughter also had a son, whom she named Ben-Ammi, the forefather of the Ammonites. These 2 peoples would later appear often in the history of Israel, sometimes as allies, sometimes as rivals. The story of Lot and his daughters is complex. It shows how fear, isolation, and misunderstanding can lead people to make desperate and harmful decisions. It also reminds us that even in moments of confusion and brokenness, God can bring future nations and purposes out of deeply flawed situations. Bible reference: Genesis 19:2-1-8.